party people. So, this is Fenris Back, probably my favorite back. It's based off of a Dorian Yates routine. So this is a warm-up. Dorian does a warm-up set of 12. I do 3 sets of 20 usually. Notice my shoulders are off the bench. I'm using my calves to hold myself to the bench. And if you really look at how gravity is working right now, you can see that the lats are engaged. I'm opening up my shoulder girdle, then I'm depressing and rotating in the scapula before engaging the lats. So you might have to rewatch that. And I also don't come all the way up because I'm keeping tension on the lats. I'm not taking tension off with gravity. That's to warm up and pre-exhaust the lats. Dorian used a Nautilus machine or a pullover. I like the pullover more because it helps with my shoulders. Normally when I do pull-ups or pull-downs, my shoulders hurt more than my lats. But if I do the pre-exhaust, now right now this is a Fenris set for her. I'm pushing it down, now I'm pulling it up and she's fighting me. So it's a forced negative. We do 3 forced negatives on your final set, your Fenris set. So if you fail under 6 reps, or you fail under 9 reps, then you do 3 forced negatives and then 3 partials. So you're really getting 12 to 15 reps of something you can only normally do 6 to 9 times. Now the way it's written is I've got bent rows first, but since I'm training with a lady, I'm going to focus on lats width more than lat thickness, so I was doing vertical pulls before horizontal pulls. And then now I'm going to do my set. So to reiterate with the pullovers, I want to stretch out the shoulder girdle, and then I want to pull my scapula in, and then I want to engage my lats, but not to come so high up with the dumbbell that the tension's off the lats. Now with straight arm pull downs and with the Nautilus machine, the tension's continuous. You don't have to worry about all that fancy pants shit. But I also don't feel I get the same type of stretch with the machine or the straight arm pull down that I do with the dumbbell. I like free weights. I'm old fashioned with that. Right now I'm demonstrating that I'm gonna need help getting that down because I'm handling more weight than I weigh and some hang time in it. Now if you notice, my shoulders come down first, then my elbows, and you're thinking, Todd, your range of motion's for shit. It's like because my triceps are hitting my lats. I can't really come in lower and use my lats. I'm doing this Phil Heath style. Notice I'm using all lats. I'm not using my rear delts much. And so she got it down as far as she could, and then she's fighting against me, pulling up on it. We want that negative to take 4 to 6 seconds. And then I've got my partials. Now usually my partials consist of rhomboids, and that's it, because I'm blown the fuck out. So all I'm doing is pulling my shoulder blades back and together. I'm not actually getting much lat involvement at this point. Next is my favorite movement for back, aside from pull-ups, and that's the bent row. Now we're doing a drop set. Even though Dorian's not a fan and everyone's all about rest pause, I like drop sets. Drop sets are kind of like a rest pause, but using less reps. Now after yesterday's podcast with Dusty Hanshaw, I'm going to try rest pausing again by using 45 seconds, 3-second breaths, 1 second inhale, 2 second hold, 15 times. So right now where she's taking off 45 pounds each side, I'd leave that shit on, do 45 seconds of deep breathing, and then continue the set. Try to get 6 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps, 1 rep. Instead, I'm going to get, I think, about 8 to 10 here. And had I not done the pull downs first, I could have gotten 10, 11, maybe even 12 reps with that 315. But I blew my load on the pull downs, so I don't have to use as much weight on the bent rows. And that's a Dorian thing. Is if you're really strong with a movement like deadlifts, do that shit last. You don't have to use as much weight. Because weight's bad for the joints. Muscle load is good for the muscles. So he liked to pre-exhaust with isolations. I'm not really pre-exhausting, I'm warming up with isolations for this day. Alright, and the next movement is the dumbbell row. Now on your program, you'll notice that it's seated cable rows. This particular gym has a very confusing seated cable row apparatus that's a lot of stress getting into position. I happen to love one-arm dumbbell rows, but they're a very technical movement. Notice I'm bringing my hips forward a little bit, bringing the origin towards the insertion, as well as the insertion towards the origin. Notice I'm not really rotating. And I'm doing my left arm, then Brittany's going to do one of her arms, then I go back to doing my other arm. Because, let's face it, I mean, if you really gave it everything you got with arm 1, how could you possibly have everything in the tank ready to go for arm 2? You might as well rest 30 to 45 seconds with deep breathing. Ipso facto, your partner might as well get their shit in. This probably is true for rest pausing too. If they can get their set done in less than 45 seconds, and they're using the exact same weight as you probably could do it that way. Notice her elbow's coming way further back than mine. Because it's just, she's got much better range of motion. She's got a nice ectomorphic, long limb body, and I've got a stumpy little dwarf body with the short little limbs. So I did, I believe, the left arm before. Now I'm doing the right arm. You're going to think it looks like shit, but I want you to watch the lat contract. The chest stays up. Shoulder comes forward, then the middle back engages, then the lat engages. Because it's not about moving the dumbbell through space, it's about engaging that back. So that completes the first 4 movements. This is the final movement. I'm doing a vertical bicep underhand because we're about to start Freya biceps. I usually do that a heavy back with a light bicep, or a heavy bicep with a light back, because I feel that makes more sense. How are you going to get heavy biceps after heavy back? Likewise, what the fuck would be the point of doing light biceps after light back? So that concludes our Fenris Back. It was very short because I edited the fuck out of it. It's actually quite a brutal workout.